In the Caribbean lies Little St. James, an island once celebrated for luxury and privacy. Its pristine beaches and lavish villas hid a darker reality. Secrets of power, influence, and exploitation that shocked the world. Jeffrey Epstein rose from a modest background to immense wealth. Using charm, cunning, and financial skills, he gained the trust of billionaires, politicians, and celebrities, building a network of influence few dare challenge. Little St. James was more than a private retreat. It concealed underground tunnels and secret passages. These hidden structures allowed unseen movement for Jeffrey Epstein, his staff, and visitors, maintaining secrecy and mystery across the island for decades. Epstein's island attracted the world's elite, from celebrities to politicians. Behind lavish parties and yachts, allegations of exploitation emerged, turning paradise into a hub of scandal and secrecy that would shock the world for decades. Investigations later revealed Epstein's network stretched worldwide. Emails, documents, and photographs connected him to powerful figures, exposing a web of influence and secrecy. Every detail painted a chilling picture of manipulation across continents. Among the names linked to Epstein were politicians, business moguls, and celebrities. These connections remained hidden from public scrutiny for years, raising questions about accountability, power, and who truly faced consequences for their actions. Ghislaine Maxwell played a central role facilitating Epstein's operations. She recruited, groomed, and managed underage victims, creating a network of control. Her arrest and trial later revealed the depth of the abuse orchestrated on the island. Prince Andrew was implicated through photographs and testimonies linking him to Epstein. The scandal forced him to step back from royal duties, showing even the highest social positions were not immune to the fallout of secrecy. The release of the Epstein files in 2025 revealed millions of pages of documents, including emails, photographs, and testimonies. These disclosures confirmed the global scale of his network and reignited public outrage over long-delayed justice. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and other high-profile figures were connected through flights, meetings, and emails. While some denied wrongdoing, the files cast a shadow over their reputations, illustrating how influence and secrecy often shielded powerful individuals. Despite overwhelming evidence, Epstein initially avoided serious prison time. A secret deal in 2008 granted him leniency, shocking victims and the public. The agreement highlighted systemic failures protecting the wealthy and powerful from justice. The deal sparked outrage. Victims' voices were silenced while Epstein continued to move in elite circles. Questions arose about accountability, corruption, and whether influence could truly protect those involved in criminal networks. Court documents and testimonies revealed Ghislaine Maxwell's crucial role. She recruited and groomed underage victims for Epstein, managing the operations while remaining influential and connected to powerful people, eventually facing her own legal consequences. Prince Andrew's involvement surfaced through photographs and witness accounts. Public scrutiny forced him to step back from royal duties. Even royalty faced consequences, highlighting that influence cannot fully shield individuals from exposure and scandal. The 2025 public release of Epstein files exposed millions of pages, including emails, photos, and testimonies. Global outrage intensified as details of manipulation, secrecy, and abuse networks were confirmed, reigniting calls for justice. High-profile figures like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump were linked to Epstein through flights and social events. While some denied wrongdoing, these associations raised questions about privilege, secrecy, and how influence can protect powerful individuals. Despite growing scrutiny, Epstein continued operating with apparent impunity. His wealth, connections, and secretive island ensured few could challenge him, illustrating how power can delay justice and shield those responsible from immediate consequences. Court settlements and secrecy agreements kept Epstein's associates protected. Victims struggled to be heard, while documents remained sealed. The case became an emblem of how legal loopholes and wealth often undermine accountability for criminal actions. The arrest and conviction of Ghislaine Maxwell confirmed her central role. She facilitated Epstein's operations, recruiting and grooming victims. Her sentence symbolized partial justice and revealed the complex hierarchy behind the criminal network. Epstein's death in 2019 shocked the world. Officially ruled a suicide, circumstances raised questions. CCTV malfunctions, guard lapses, and timing fueled speculation, ensuring the story remained a mystery, with victims still seeking answers and closure. After Epstein's death, attention shifted to Ghislaine Maxwell. Investigations intensified, exposing the full scope of the trafficking network. Her arrest marked the first major step toward holding key figures accountable for decades of abuse and secrecy. Media coverage highlighted Epstein's global connections. Documentaries, reports, and investigative journalism brought new evidence to light, revealing links to politicians, celebrities, and billionaires. Public outrage grew as details of his crimes became widely known. Victims began filing lawsuits to reclaim justice. Civil suits against Epstein and his associates revealed financial settlements and the scope of wrongdoing. Courtrooms became stages for confronting decades of abuse and secrecy surrounding the powerful. Maxwell's trial revealed her central role. Witness testimonies describe her recruiting and grooming victims for Epstein. The trial highlighted the calculated and systemic nature of the abuse, finally shedding light on previously hidden operations. In June 2022, Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison. The judge emphasized her crimes against children, making it clear the sentence symbolized accountability for those who abused their power and harmed the innocent. Following Maxwell's conviction, attention turned to Epstein's wealth. Funds were used to create victim compensation funds. Over $121 million has been distributed to more than 150 survivors, providing partial restitution for decades of abuse. The release of the Epstein files in 2025 reignited political and public debate. Over 1 million pages revealed correspondence, flight logs, and connections, forcing governments and media to confront decades of secrecy and elite influence. Donald Trump's and Bill Clinton's connections were scrutinized. Flight logs and social events raised questions, though neither admitted wrongdoing. The files illustrated how power and influence intersected with secrecy, complicating public perception of justice. Prince Andrew faced public backlash. Images and testimonies linked him to Epstein's activities, forcing him to relinquish royal duties. The scandal highlighted that even royalty could not fully escape consequences of association with criminal networks. Hollywood and the business world were also linked. Epstein's social circles included celebrities and moguls. The file suggested some may have been manipulated or blackmailed, illustrating how abuse of power extended into global elite communities. Investigators discovered evidence of blackmail and coercion. Photos, flight logs, and financial records suggested a systematic approach to manipulating influential figures, deepening the global intrigue and making Epstein's network one of the most infamous in history. Epstein's private jets, often called the Lolita Express, transported high-profile passengers. These flights became central evidence in investigations, mapping connections across continents and showing how mobility facilitated his influence and access to vulnerable individuals. The island itself remained central. Little St. James was both a luxurious escape and a hub for secretive operations. Investigators uncovered tunnels, unusual structures, and security measures, emphasizing how the location enabled covert activity. Authorities confirmed the existence of secret underground tunnels on the island. While details remain unclear, the tunnels likely facilitated movement unseen by guests, highlighting the extent of planning and secrecy surrounding Epstein's operations. Today, the Epstein files continue to influence global discourse. Investigators, journalists, and the public analyze every detail, seeking accountability. The scandal serves as a reminder that power and secrecy cannot fully shield wrongdoing. After Maxwell's conviction, attention turned to ongoing investigations of Epstein's associates. Authorities worldwide scrutinized those connected to his operations. Public interest remained high, demanding accountability and transparency from those who had long evaded scrutiny. Public outrage over Epstein's crimes led to new laws and transparency measures. Governments emphasized reporting, monitoring, and stricter regulations on powerful figures, aiming to prevent similar networks from exploiting wealth and influence. Survivors' voices became central to the narrative. Their testimonies, courage, and advocacy brought attention to systemic failures, inspiring worldwide awareness campaigns and ensuring victims' experiences remained a critical part of the historical record. The Epstein files revealed not just crime, but corruption. Connections to politicians, celebrities, and financiers showed how privilege can protect individuals. These revelations prompted public debate about justice, influence, and the need for systemic reform. Epstein's private island, tunnels, and lavish lifestyle symbolized secrecy and manipulation. Investigators use satellite imagery and AI tools to reconstruct events, revealing how meticulous planning and privilege facilitated decades of abuse and evaded detection. The public began demanding answers about who else benefited or remained silent. Discussions centered on accountability for the powerful, transparency in investigations, and lessons for society to prevent abuse of influence in elite circles. Media documentaries, news reports, and social media coverage amplified awareness. The Epstein files became educational tools, showing the consequences of unchecked power and inspiring discussions on ethics, influence, and protecting vulnerable populations worldwide. The case inspired reforms in how financial institutions, travel logs, and elite networks are monitored. Policymakers aimed to prevent exploitation, showing how investigations into Epstein's network led to broader societal safeguards. Epstein's story became a cautionary tale. Wealth, influence, and secrecy can mask wrongdoing, but persistence, courage, and investigation reveal the truth. His case reminds society of the importance of accountability for all, regardless of status. In your opinion, can wealth and influence ever truly shield someone from justice? Share your thoughts. Epstein's story shows the complexity of power, secrecy, and accountability, inviting the audience to reflect on morality and responsibility. After Epstein files became public, governments worldwide reassessed oversight on private islands, elite travel, and high-profile networks. Authorities aimed to prevent abuse, showing that global awareness can help safeguard vulnerable individuals against manipulation. Education campaigns emerged worldwide to inform children and communities about exploitation risks. Epstein's case became a case study demonstrating how power, secrecy, and networks can be misused, reinforcing the importance of vigilance and protection. The Epstein files prompted journalists to dig deeper. Investigative teams worldwide cross-referenced documents, interviews, and public records, uncovering patterns in elite behavior. Media attention pressured authorities to act and maintain transparency. Victims' advocacy groups grew stronger, sharing resources, therapy, and legal support. Epstein's network sparked international solidarity for survivors, highlighting the resilience of communities and the critical importance of amplifying voices often silenced by wealth and influence. Globally, Epstein's case became a symbol of unchecked privilege. Scholars and analysts debated how wealth, power, and secrecy intersect with criminal behavior, emphasizing systemic reforms and greater oversight to prevent exploitation in elite circles. Technology played a role in uncovering hidden patterns. Analysts used AI to track flight logs, communications, and financial records, revealing networks of influence, showing how modern tools can help hold powerful figures accountable. Legal experts noted the importance of public engagement. Social pressure, media scrutiny, and victim advocacy were key in ensuring cases like Epstein's received attention, showing that transparency and civic involvement can influence justice. The Epstein files continue to be analyzed, revealing connections previously unknown. As more information emerges, the public, media, and investigators stay vigilant, ensuring that lessons from the past inform ethical and legal safeguards for the future. The story has sparked discussions on morality, accountability, and societal responsibility. It challenges us to question how privilege can manipulate systems and emphasizes the power of truth, courage, and persistent inquiry in confronting wrongdoing. Even after Epstein's death, the investigation continues. Authorities trace financial flows, communications, and associates, ensuring no more stone is left unturned. Justice for victims remains central, showing the long-term impact of relentless pursuit of truth. Epstein's island, private jets, and secretive lifestyle serve as historical examples of how wealth and influence can be misused. These details now help authorities, journalists, and the public understand and prevent future abuses. What do you think is the most important lesson from Jeffrey Epstein's story? Share your opinion. Accountability, transparency, or vigilance. This case reminds us all that no one should be above justice.